If you don't understand that the smart vehicle revolution is going to be one of the biggest technological revolution that we've ever seen, you don't really understand the depth of this revolution. You know, if you take one of us and you put us in an autonomous car, a car in which you don't need to hold the wheel, people will be like stressful, and they will like be amazed, and they will laugh a lot, and they will prefer at any given moment to catch the wheel, hold the wheel, and say, you know, I want to control the car. But in 10, 15 years, kids will never believe us that we had the courage to enter this metal monster and go into a road with other human-driven metal monsters. And people were drinking and driving, taking drugs and driving, falling asleep, talking over the phone, getting into fights with their wife or husband, or whatever it is. Kids will never believe that we were so courageous to go and drive cars ourselves. The automotive industry is the automotive revolution is an amazing one, and it's coming. And the next session is going to be about that. So I want to call 3 people to the stage, Nico, Shay, and Yoni. I guess Matan, Scharf is not here, is moderating the main plenary. So, guys, you see what I did there? I called you on your first name basis, and now you will represent yourself, so I will not make the same mistakes. So that's about learning. See, that's about improving. So, take 20 seconds presenting yourself. What do you do? Where did you come from? Please.
Hi, I'm Yoni Heilbronn. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer of Argus Cybersecurity. We do automotive cybersecurity, and I'm responsible in the company for the marketing and business development activities.
Hi, my name is Shay Horowitz. I'm heading the marketing at CYMOTIVE, an automotive cybersecurity company. I started my journey business journey with Germans around 10 years ago with a customer named Deutsche Telekom. You probably all know the name here. Some good business, some business which didn't materialize. For me, most important, 10 plus years, I'm still really enjoying doing the business with German. This is the reason I'm here today.
Hi, my name is Nico Schön. I recognize it's very hard to pronounce that name for Israeli people. So I'm working for...
It's not your name, it's the company's name. Tell us the company's name.
Thyssenkrupp. Yeah, it's also very hard to pronounce.
Yeah. So it sounds easier than it's written.
So please repeat it.
Thyssenkrupp.
Oh, very good, very good.
I'm a native German speaker.
Yeah. Within Thyssenkrupp, I'm working for the business area components technology, which is more or less the automotive supplier business of Thyssenkrupp. Supplier business means we are a tier 1 supplier, primarily for premium OEMs. We are supplying powertrain parts, but also a lot of suspension and chassis parts like steering systems, damping systems. For example, the Mercedes S-Class. Since the Mercedes S-Class was launched in the 70s, there is a damping system of Thyssenkrupp inside. And within this business area, I'm working in the central department of technology and innovation, and deal a lot of with innovation strategy, autonomous driving, connected vehicles, and all that stuff.
I just came here for the conference and I couldn't find a seat, so.
I told everyone that you're on the main plenary, and then you entered the room. So please present yourself.
Yeah, I had to make a dash here. Hi everyone, my name is Matan. I'm the CEO and founder of cycuro. Cycuro is offering a secure mobility data exchange platform for mobility operators and service providers. To put it simply, we create trust between peers in a mobility ecosystem. So if you have your Waze or your Uber or DHL, any company that relies on the availability and the accuracy of data that is coming from a smart city environment, a connected vehicle environment, even just a mobile app that is used for a mobility service, we help guarantee that the data that you're using for your service has not been compromised, tampered with, that it comes from an authentic, genuine source that you can trust.
So why do we even talk about automotive? What the future beholds for the automotive industry? one of you can take this question, because only one will answer this question.
Well, from my point of view, the automotive revolution is here. It may take more time or a few more years until we see a fully autonomous car running in the streets. But I think one thing we can all agree, cyber is a must to enable this revolution. Without cyber safety, no one will be willing to enter the car. This is already represented in surveys that are published here and there. And since we understand what are the benefits of these revolutions, we cannot stop the train, but we need to make sure that when the train comes, we are ready to take it in the proper way, and that means cyber protected.
Amazing. Okay, so Nico, Germany is very strong with automotive, right? Can you tell us what are the current challenges in the automotive industry, and what would be what would make Germany happy with regards to finding Israeli technologies that can solve certain problems?
Yeah, I would say at the moment the electrification of vehicles is the current challenge for automotive OEMs, but I think that would not radically change the behavior in mobility in the future. Even autonomous vehicles will be somehow a change how people will use mobility and demand mobility in the future, but I think the real radical thing that will be arising is these vehicle data platforms like Autonomo, also an Israeli very big funded company which has the business model to gather data from OEMs, telematics data, and providing it like a platform like Amazon to third parties, to tier ones, to OEMs, to create really new business models and services. And I think these kind of data-driven platform in the automotive would radically change how we use mobility and how we use cars in the future.
Can you come with me next time I pitch cycuro?
So, Matan, if you already hold the microphone. Why Israel? Israel, we don't have any, we had one attempt to create a car, I think, and it was not
Successful attempt.
It was a very, very successful attempt, so successful that we decided not to do it again. Why Israel? Why is Israel so strong in automotive security, and why we have such an amazing companies like Cycuro and Argus and other automotive security companies?
I think that one, it's not specifically security, and it's not specifically automotive. I think that when you look at Israel, you see not just Israel, of course, but to answer the question, I think you see a lot of innovation coming in very, very different ways. Autonomo is one great example for a thought about building a marketplace for commercializing mobility data. Mobileye would be the most, I think, obvious example of doing sensor fusion, doing deeper things with sensory data. Security like Argus, like Arilu, like Tarsa companies that have really spearheaded the world, I guess, with the innovative technology. So what I'm trying to say is that basically what we do in Israel very well, I think, is see a trend and act on it very, very early and very fast, which maybe culturally we're built to do, maybe, I don't know. I'm not a psychologist, but this is a fact that this is something that we do, and just by the merit of trying to be the first ones to do it, even before you actually see a commercial problem, even before you actually see a manifestation of a threat. I mean, what Argus was established 2013. I was going to say 14. I mean, talk about foresight.
Amazing.
I'll add something short to that, just to add circumstances. Here in Israel, you have the local military-industrial complex, so to speak, that's unlike what Eisenhower said in the 1950s. I think that in Israel, this is something that is actually a blessing. You have every year an influx of a lot of people getting discharged from the military with really cutting-edge knowledge, not only in cybersecurity, but in other, really, the most relevant, I would say, forms of technology that is really at the forefront. And once you have that, couple that with the Israeli, I would say, innovation, I don't know, zealots that are here, then you have something which is unique.
So, so the future of automotive security, it might be bright and it might be dark, and to some extent it depends on the things that we are doing today. To some extent, some of us are creating the problems of tomorrow. We are already working and building the problems of tomorrow. So my question to you is, what are we doing wrong, and what should be done differently in Israel and Germany, and what is your message to the future of the automotive industry?
I think that when it comes to automotive cybersecurity, I think that the biggest problem is sense of urgency. I could attest, let's say, that, for example, the German OEMs are relatively in the forefront when it comes to automotive cybersecurity, and I think that the fact that Argus has been acquired by a significant tier one, Continental, CYMOTIVE, which is a joint venture for VW and Israel, an Israeli company, says something at least about Germany. But when you look overall at the landscape, there are certain OEMs that are more advanced. Many are still lagging behind, as if either they're waiting for the regulator to tell them what to do, or waiting just for the disaster that will come. And everybody understands that there will be a significant attack or attacks on the industry. This is something which even the OEMs confess. So it's only a matter of time till something significantly happens. So if you ask me, the topic is a sense of urgency from my perspective.
So let me ask you a question, and this question you have to raise your hand. You're traveling to New York. You're going out of the airport. Thank you. You're booking an Uber drive, and the car comes, and you discover that this is an autonomous car. Would you go in? Please raise your hand if you would.
For sure.
Sure. Okay. Two people.
Today.
Today.
Today is not it's not available. So
No, there are some autonomous cars out there. Google is trying autonomous cars. Uber is trying. So you get one of those by mistake, I don't know, or by intention, or whatever it is. You get an autonomous car. You
sure,
would go inside today.
just out of curiosity.
Okay, perfect. So 2 out of 2. So second question. Your wife, your mother, your friend, whatever, goes to New York. They book it on a Uber drive. They get an autonomous car. They call you and ask you, what should we do? Should we go inside? What do you tell them? Would you let them go inside? Please raise your hand. No.
Depends who is calling.
Who is driving the car? The car is driving. Okay. If your mother-in-law is that's his joke. Okay.
I remind you this is being filmed.
Okay. So, another question. 1 year from now, 1 year from now, your mother, wife, whatever it is, goes to New York, get an autonomous car. Do you tell them to go inside? 2 years from now, do you tell them to go inside? 5 years from now, do you tell them to go inside? Yeah?
I'm all in.
You're all in. Okay. So we have two versus 2. How much time should pass till you will tell them it's okay?
I really don't know. It's really hard to answer this question. I'm not sure if it's a factor of time, really. Whenever I talk about autonomous driving and all these trends, and I ask the audience, let's do this now, if you don't mind. How many of you have ever been in an autonomous vehicle? Raise your hand. You're all wrong. You've all been in autonomous vehicles. One of them is, of course, an airplane, which 99% of the time flies autonomously. But even more than that, what's a vehicle? A vehicle is a mechanical component that propels people and merchandise from point to point. For example, an elevator. You've all been to elevators. Now, the reason why I'm giving this example is because I bet you guys that the first people that stepped into an elevator that did not have a human being running it peed their pants. It was like, is it going to stop? Is it going to hit the floor? Like, are we going to die right now just because we didn't climb on the stairs? So I really think that it's not a function of time specifically, but more me coming to terms. And again, like you asked the right question, right? For myself, it's like, yeah, I'll get on, I don't care. But it's really for me to come to terms with the fact that I trust the infrastructure. It's not just the vehicle. It's got to be more than that.
Okay, perfect.
I would like to add something.
Yeah,
It's
please,
because your question is very hard to answer. Yeah, because
Thank you.
when we autonomous vehicles are not autonomous vehicles. So a level 5 autonomous vehicle means that the vehicle will take you everywhere. But I think that would be possible maybe in 10, 15 years, don't know. That will be a long way. But when we are talking about level 4, that means that the vehicle will autonomously bring you on a dedicated road. Yeah, that, and also in New York, could be possible in 3-4 years. So that I'm convinced that that will be possible then, and that I would trust in that.
Okay, guys, so very interesting. Our time is up. We have very short sessions today. But what I want you to do, I want to give you, each of you, 10 seconds to talk about what should be done between Israel and Germany to promote collaboration in the automotive industry. Start, 10 seconds each.
Okay, I just got back from Germany this morning. I was in Munich, so the topic is very burning for me. I just wasted 4 seconds saying that. I think that Germany has obviously a lot of automotive pedigree, but also at the same time they have the Mittelstand. So we're talking about an unbelievable size of their economy that is based on old school companies. I'm talking about 100, 200, 500-year-old factories that have a lot of cash, they have a lot of resources, and they just need to be paired with the right innovation. And I think that if we found a mechanism to connect these, I would call them legacy industries, with the innovation coming from Israel, that would be a win-win situation for both countries.
Yep.
From my own personal experience, I'd just say continue what's being done right now. And as it said, both in German and basically in Hebrew, continue the tacheles. It is what it is, and we're both doing it.
How would you translate tachlis to German?
It's the same word.
Yeah? That's a good answer.
From my point of view, I think the recipe to continue the collaboration is really to understand what are the culture gaps there are, and really build your own recipe, how to overcome them. This is how to make it work.
We know our innovation need very well, and we know that innovation is getting even more complex in the future, and we cannot do everything on our own. So I think that we need to collaborate with Israeli technology companies in dedicated R&D projects and see what's the outcome. So bringing the experts together, and that's why I'm here.
Perfect. Thank you so much, guys. I hope we will see a lot of collaboration between Israel and Germany in the automotive industry. This is a natural collaboration. Germany is one of the leaders in the automotive industry, and I think Israeli startups, and we have representatives of startups here, will be more than happy to find German companies to work with. Thank you so much for your time, guys.